I do not aim with my hand. He who aims with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Guys, we're talking about Conquest today. I know I don't love it. A lot of people are frustrated. It's taking a lot of time. There are some really great efficiency experts out there who are going to help you do the best through all the various Conquest nodes and everything. Go check out End All Be All's guides, for instance. I'll link them in the video description. He knows his stuff. But what people are asking me is, Zareth, what data disks are you using? And I'm happy to share. I don't know that they're the very best things, but they've worked, and I don't think that CG is going to nerf them. And I think the thing I like most is that my alt can use them without any Galactic Legends and get all the way through all 5 sectors without having to really work that hard, as long as you consistently go for that same theme. And so, once again, I'm not saying that I am the sole arbiter of truth on this. I just want to show you guys what I'm doing. So let's go to the game. We can check it out. Whoa, we're in a different environment. So stupid. All right, so what do we have? We have the inventory. For my main, I'll show you guys my main, and then I'll show you my alt, because I'm doing something different here because of the availability of these different data disks. And so what I'm going for, guys, is trying to make it so that I have stacking offense and turn meter gains. Those are the things that I want. And so I want to be able to stack my ability to hit hard so that I can use bad characters to actually achieve goals. And then I can also gain a lot of turn meter on certain conditions. And that's basically it. So there's 2 different ways you can go about it. My main, this time, I think I'm just going to go for the buff route. So you get the heal over time. It's only 1 dot out of your 12, but you gain 2 heal over time effects every time someone takes a turn. So you have to take a turn, but once you do, you gain those heal over times. On top of that, whenever an ally gains a buff, they also gain 5% offense. So every time someone has, so if you get this stacking offense data disk and you stack it with this heal over time, every single time a character goes, they're gaining 10% offense, which isn't too crazy. But when you start, that's only 3 of our total data capacity. So I do have caustic ignitions because, as you'll see on my alt, that's the route I'm going. I'm going for the debuff offense gains. But what we're doing here then, I also have the critical debuffs here. I think that's the other one I got just because I didn't have good options. But I think I am just going to go for the buffs route anyways. If I can get the right things, though, I can actually stack debuffs instead. I just haven't gotten any data disks yet that will show me that'll allow me to do that. So what we're doing here, we have the critical debuffs and the caustic emissions. Those will go away once I have more things to replace them. I've only been through most of 2 nodes. But then I also have Ruthless Swiftness. This is another one that we want. Anything with Ruthless, the Ruthless offense is also really good. You can gain, anyone who goes below 100% health also gains 22% turn meter, which is super nice. Night Sisters especially really, really love this because, especially as characters heal, they're going to be causing damage to the base health of people as they cause plague. And that's going to give the whole team 22% turn meter, along with all their other great turn meter gains. So Night Sisters become a monster under the builds that I use. And as you'll see on my alt, I lean on those Night Sisters quite a bit. And they're not good. They're actually pretty awful. So otherwise, we have another heal over time. So now every time someone takes a turn, they're gaining 4 heals over time. And that means that every time they take a turn, they get 20% extra offense. And then I also, on top of that, I have another stacking offense. This one's just a gray one, so it's another 4%. So instead of just gaining that 10% total from the heal over times, or the 20% from heal over times, then we're also gaining another 16% on top of that. So every time one of my characters takes a turn, unless they have some kind of buff immunity on them, they're going to be gaining 36% offense every single time, and that's only 6 total data capacity worth. Now, I have another Ruthless Swiftness which is obviously decent, but I still have room to grow for this. So that's the buff method of doing things. Now let me just look and see if there's. I'm just curious to see if we can get to the next data card. No, I wanted to see if we could maybe like pick one out, but I can show you guys real quick against Geos here. Let's throw in Night Sisters, and I'll show you just how quickly they stack. So you can see they're only at 87%. After last night, I dragged them all the way down. I think they were at 25% when I finally stopped using them. It was crazy. Maybe 35%, but they ramp up so quickly because they also just ramp stats anyways. So like Asajj is gaining a bunch anyways. You can see we're only gaining, like I haven't gotten the chance to gain a whole lot of other other data discs, so it's going to take a little bit, but watch all their turn meter just jump up here. Oh, as it didn't. Great. But that's because all of their health was already kind of down anyways. But you can see, like, they kill your guys, they kill them, and then you just keep going. Nice sisters come back real easy. And eventually this ramping offense just really takes a huge toll. So you don't want to kill that Brute because they'll just regrow him. But now we can just take out the Brute Alpha. Barely need any need of assists. Everyone's gaining all the... and this is only from the data discs. Now note, yeah, every time you gain another buff, so Spirit is also gaining another 9% every time she takes a turn because she gets Foresight. Zombies getting extra offense every time she taunts, etc. Alright, let's look at these other node data discs, and then I'm going to pause my game. You guys can see what's going on my alt. I'll get you out of here. So, let's see. Shocking Exhaust, that might be okay for the debuff one. Otherwise, I don't necessarily love any of these. Zealous Ambition, that's okay because healers and supports gain offense. This one is crazy. 34% of their max health. The supports can really get turbo boosted. If I don't, I think that's what I'm going to end up with here is that one, because we want things that tangibly affect your offense percentage and be able to impact the game quite a bit. Just being able to give, oh, they recover 2% health, really doesn't matter. Attacks out of turn, this is a terrible one. Shocking Exhaust is good with debuffs. Power, just the plus 27% raw offense. What you just saw, we're dwarfing that right now. So that one doesn't do much. Otherwise, evasive action, who cares? Insatiable, also, who cares? Though you just want the ones that stack. So let's move on to my alt, folks. All right, we're back on my alt. I guess you could say alt-right. It's not a political statement. We're not talking about the alt-right. So, all right, my alt, obviously, we're going a way slower speed here, way slower pace than the usual, than my main account, because my main account is trying to get that max box. My alt cares less about it. So what's going on here, folks, obviously we haven't gotten a ton of data discs yet, only 4 out of them, but I got lucky. My first one was Weak Point, and this is a new one. I feel like this one is borderline broken, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to rely on it moving forward. But whenever an ally attacks, they gain 4% offense for every debuff on all characters. So that includes assists. So if you call everyone to assist, oh man, it's just so crazy. Like, everyone's gaining 4% offense for every debuff on all characters. So of course, I have Caustic Emissions, which is they gain 1 damage over time for 2 turns at the start of their turn. I think there's a green one that actually gives them 2 damage over times. So that's amazing. It also, because it's for 2 turns, they keep boosting themselves up every time, so they could have a couple stacks of them over time, and as long as you're attacking while they have those debuffs, it's pretty fantastic. So otherwise, like, those 2 are great, and then being able to stack them with other debuff ones is just amazing. Let's see what's on here. So I'm going to have one that I'm going to have to make a choice. Shocking Exhaust is okay, but it's only 10 debuffs. It's a lot to do early on. I think I'm going to go for Ruthless Swiftness here, just because we're gaining turn meter once enemies fall below their 100% health. So I still think the Ruthless Swiftness one and Ruthless Offense is great. Stacking Offense is cool, but I think we're going to go the other direction this time. Shocking Exhaust, there's no shortage of them. And really, they only gain Shock for 2 turns. Doesn't really matter that much, really. Like, you want the things that boost your turn meter, especially turn meter, because eventually every character gets super duper quick. And then your offense, obviously, they get a lot of hit points and health and whatever. So your offense is going to be nice. And it allows those really bad teams to kind of have some leverage. So let me show you kind of what my alt does here against one of these teams that... Okay, so you want to stay away from someone who causes AoE days like this, like Bo-Katan. You want to stay away from, or at least with the turn meter shenanigans with Night Sisters and stuff. So Bo-Katan's a no-go. This team might work with Night Sisters. Let's find out. So my Night Sisters, apparently, they're ready to go. This is only the first node, but my Night Sisters, you'll note, I have 1 gear 13, and that's Daka. I guess my Asajj is also gear 13. But they're not wonderful. My Night Sister Spirit is gear 12, and then everyone else is significantly worse. But let's see. So we can do this. Maybe cause plague, so we can get a stun on them. Let's reveal Grievous, though. If we can get a stun on him. And so as they're taking turns, they're getting dots. Now, remember, we only have a couple debuffs here, but everyone's got their plague now. So every time I take a turn and they have these debuffs, I'm going to be gaining on my offense. So every time, look at all these debuffs. I'm getting 4% offense every time I take a turn. Now look at this. This is even cooler. So now there's, what, 3 on Grievous, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, how many are on? Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 total. 16 total debuffs here, not to mention Asajj. So 19 total here. When I call everyone to assist, I'm going to gain 4% offense for every single character that's assisting based off of those debuffs. So 4%, there's 19 of them. I mean, that's like everyone's gaining 80% offense for this one attack out of turn. It's pretty nutty. Pretty cool. And now you see them just start hitting like a truck eventually. Start hitting truculently. I'm funny. And let's see. This might just shred through all of them. Let's find out. Not quite. Not quite. But close. Oh. Alright. Let's revive everyone before we just finish everything off. I guess we can just pull the trigger on Newt real quick. Oop. Get that revive going here. And you can see, even with pretty low level Night Sisters, yeah, my gear 11 Talzin's hitting for 131k in a not too difficult match here. So you can kind of just march across the board with that. Not too bad at all. Of course, that was only with a few debuffs. So that being said, folks, hopefully this helps. Again, I don't pretend to be the most amazing at Conquest, but this has worked for me on my main and my alt. If I wanted to spend the time on my alt, I could absolutely get at least close to the red box, even though I have 0 Galactic Legends on it. So it's not an issue of being able to actually beat the missions if you get those right force multipliers, the levers, so to speak. It's just a matter of actually spending the time. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. And, a reminder, guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you just want to support the channel, please, I would really appreciate hitting that like button or leaving a comment, both, even hitting the sub button. All 3 of those would be fantastic. We'd really appreciate it. It helps grow the channel. And the channel's been doing really well lately because of you guys and your diligence in pushing said buttons. So, thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xerath prevails.